Here we go. Live. Looky, looky what I have. I have a big box, people. I have a nice big box for Warhammer. So, problem is, displaying video device, flip vertically. Does that actually work? Flipping it vertically? Yes, it does. Because it shows off this. This is what I got. The box. Yes, I have a very, very big box, and this box is very, very heavy, Pingu. I had my brother carry it for me. Because this box is heavy. Look, this box weighs a fuck ton. Look how big it is. Okay, there you go. Big box. This box is very heavy. This is the 4th edition Age of Sigmar starting box. And this one's limited. This is the limited box. I'm happy I finally managed to actually get one, because I'd rather buy this box now and save money later until when GW decides to, you know, fucking scalp everyone. Because that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen in the future. They're gonna fucking scalp you all. Because that's the problem. They use FOMO like this, and then they scalp everyone. That's the problem. Okay? So, in this box, you have the start of 2 armies. More so for a Skaven force, you have a much bigger Skaven force than you do Stormcast Eternals. The Stormcast Eternals one is... It's still a start collector. You can still start an army with this box, but I think what they'll do is these are all the new models that they basically teased on like online and whatnot. So these are all the new models that they teased. And the thing is, pretty much, I wanted to get the box because what they'll do is what they like to do with their boxes is that they like to screw people over. They like to have this big FOMO box like this one here, which has the rulebook and all that, and the rulebook, it's got the rulebook, it's got objective card, it's got the box of objective cards in it for Spearhead, because these are 2 forces large enough for a Spearhead game. They're both balanced for that, so they're mainly designed for that. This box, you get 24 of my army. I get 24 of my army. I get 50 of Skaven. You know, I just collect the paint. I don't care about playing the game. I'm a painter, not a player. So I don't really give too much of a toss about the game. I have the rule book. I do very occasionally and casually play. But yeah. The main thing is I want these miniatures. I wanted this box because I had the money to spend for it at the time. But yeah, the thing with this is, if you were to, I got this for £136, which is way cheaper than buying it directly from Games Workshop themselves. Games Workshop themselves are charging £160 for this, which is absolutely ridiculous. Because this is with their price increase as well. Because the Leviathan box set was £150. The 40k one was £150. This is £160 from them. £160. What they'll probably do is they'll probably take, because if we flip this over, give me a second. This thing only records in 30 FPS, so that's that. So as you can probably see, let's see if I can get it like really good. So what they'll probably do is they'll probably take these flyers out. These flyboys out, they'll probably take them out, they'll probably take this big gun out, And what else will they take? They'll take the Giselles. They'll take the Giselles out. They'll take the gun, the Giselles, and the Flyboys, and one of the other models out of this. They'll probably take this guy out, and they'll probably take this guy out. So yeah. So what they'll do is they'll take the Flyboys out. They'll take this guy out. They'll take. Yeah, they'll take one of the lords out. They'll take one of the lords out. They will. For mine. Yeah, they'll take. So basically, what they'll do is they'll take that out. They'll probably take that out. They'll take this one out. They'll probably just keep the Quester in there as the HQ choice. They'll probably take the Reclusi. They'll probably just take the Reclusians out, and they'll probably just gut this, and you'll only get about 25% of what's actually here for my army in the starter box, and then on the bigger side they'll add one of the units in. For the Skaven, what they'll do is they'll probably take your Claw Lord out. They'll take your Claw Lord out. They'll take the Gatling gun out. They'll take the Giselles out. And then I'll leave you with the rest and they'll probably take either the Grey Seer. They'll probably take the Grey Seer out and put him in the big in the other the other box. And yeah, that's the thing. This box as it is an amazing value for savings, but they'll gut it. But the thing is, the problem with it is with Games Workshop is they'll gut this. They'll gut this, and then they'll basically resell you this. This is designed to be played as a spearhead game. This is a spearhead box. It's designed to be played in that way with the minis inside. So it is literally a game. It's a game in a box, and that's the best way to collect minis from Games Workshop is to buy the games in boxes, especially if you collect for the armies or you're a painter. Okay, because you do save a lot of money, because individually we don't know the prices of this yet. This has literally just come out. We don't know the individual prices. I can only give you individual prices on Clan Rats. That's the only thing I could give you the individual prices on. The Clan Rats are I think Clan Rats now are like £34 a box, and you get 10. I think you get 10 or 20. I think you get about 10 miniatures for it. So it's kind of meh. Because the ogres are a new sculpt. They're all new sculpts. Everything in here is a new sculpt. This if I could resell this, and recoup the cost for this if I wanted to, but I won't, because that requires using eBay. I'm not an eBay guy. I don't trust eBay. I don't like eBay. So let's open it up and see exactly what we've got. And people are like, oh, are you going to build them on stream? Probably not. Probably won't build it on stream. This is more just unboxing, just to say, hey, look, I've got this, and just have a look at the stuff and whatnot. If I'm to build it, I'm building my side first, and then I'll build the 50 odd minis that are here, because this is 50 odd. These are 50 miniatures. Skaven get 50 in this box. I get 24. But the thing is one of my guys is at least worth about like 3 or 4 of these guys. So it does make sense, because my army is an elite army. You get a lot less with it as opposed to this. I've still got dragons and shit. I've got dragons and bowmen, and I've got one box that's out of production. That's for that I've still got to build, and then I've got all my 40k shit still left to build. I've got my rubrics, I've got my war dogs, I've got stuff still to build. So there's that. Okay. So there you go. I can now take this off. In theory. There you go. So there's the huge boxing that's got like the artwork on it. It's like it looks amazing. The artwork does. Let me turn that around so we can see it properly. So you've got a Reclusian or a Liberator with a lightning hammer fighting Clan Rats. and you've got the winged guys in the back, and you've got some of the others fighting the horde. They basically have their own little like story bullshit with it, but personally, I don't bloody care. And then of course there's all my plastic crack. There's all the plastic crack. So you've got the ogres. To be fair, these sculpts actually look really good for what they are. They've got like all little different weapons and stuff. They're all push fits, so they're very easy to put together. These are very easy miniatures to put together. So I've got my hammered guys. So I have ones that have single hammers. I think there's one guy that has two hammers, and I think I get like 2 squads of those. And it's like, yeah, I get two squads of those. Oh yeah, they've got the 1-for-1s on the back for the Skaven. They do of the characters and everything on the back, so they look really, really good. They're all painted up by obviously heavy metal. They're all painted up by heavy metal, but obviously I don't do that. That's a character. That's a Skaven character. So basically, what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to put all the Skaven shit together with all the other stuff. This stuff actually came out for pre-order. This stuff was on for pre-order and actually came out very recently. This gives me a very nice big box. How much did it cost me? I said £136. I said it was 136 quid. Compared to Games Workshop's 160 for it. I bought this at my stockist. I will always go to my stockist and I will always buy from my local stockist if I can, over buying directly from Games Workshop. Buying directly from Games Workshop you only do if it's a miniature you can only buy online from them. Chill out, I get paid in 10 days, I'm fine, I recoup the cost. I bought my brother some stuff as well, just to keep him busy, because my brother's been feeling shitty because he's still on his course and he hasn't had a lot of. He's still working on his course and stuff. So there's that. Yeah, one of these is my guy. One of these is is the Grey Seer. So there's a Grey Seer, and I think there's the other guy as well. Yeah, the engineer, who apparently has a rifle as well. And then I've got all my clan rats who are all new sculpts. They are, because the old clan rat sculpts are fucking ancient. They're like 20 plus years and shit. Oh yeah, and I've got some terrain. Oh yeah, I also get some terrain pieces as well. So I get to build some terrain. So I have some standing terrain and stuff. It's cool. It's not a massive amount, but it adds to what I can build and paint and stuff. So it's quite nice for what it is. Will I be building this on stream? Probably not, because I get distracted way too easily. So yeah, I will build it off stream and probably just show people when it's built. All I'm doing is showing the box off, and then we'll probably just jump into doing Daxter for a bit. My brother's probably going to stream him building his miniatures. I'm just basically showing this box off. Yeah. There's the other bit with that. I've got more stuff. We'll stem the tide. Play a box. Report your results and decide the fate of a key city in the mortal realms. So, the slaughter at Hellcrown, make your mark on the mortal realms. Ah, so they want you to play this box set and say that. They don't usually do that. Games Workshop don't usually do that shit. Okay? They are usually very arsey when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yeah? They don't let players influence shit that goes on in the game. Okay? So what I need to do is I need to paint my shit and then play the game and then do that. Problem is I'm not like someone who can just like paint everything instantaneously flat out 24/7 like all these YouTubers and shit. Ah, so I've got a really big box in there. That looks really nice. That looks nice. I'm assuming this here is my books. Oops. I'm assuming, yeah, this looks like that's my book in there. all my books. So there's my tome. That's got the rules in it and everything, and it's also got like a flavor text book and that. Wow, no, that feels like that's the rule book. That's the rule book. That's the new rule book. I'll have to read through it, but the thing is I don't, like, I have the old one. I have the old one with Yndrasta and everything on it, which was the Dominion box for 3rd edition. So I've got that. I've got the Yndrasta book. Here we go. It's like covered in crap because I opened it and then I never really brushed off the dirt and that. But it's not sun bleached or anything. But this is the old one. Let me just brush off all the dust and the debris. Oh yeah, I've also been playing what you call it, Once Human. I know it's a game developed by NetEase. I know it's published by NetEase and developed by Starry Studios, which is basically just a cover name for NetEase. I don't give a shit. The game is fun. Everyone who was basically going ape shit over the fucking TOS crap, saying, "Oh, they're gonna steal my government ID and shit." Do you live in North Korea? No. Do you live in South Korea? Do you live in China? No. Then shut the fuck up, because the rules only apply to that. So that's what the old book looked like. This is what the old one looked like. The Yndrasta one, the one with Yndrasta on it. And I spent about 100 quid, about 105 for the Dominion box, and it came out. To be fair, I've been much more luckier with Age of Sigmar than I have with 40k. Age of Sigmar, a lot of the Age of Sigmar stuff I've gotten for a lot cheaper. And it's all been better quality in my opinion than 40k. 40k is just their cash cow. But I've much preferred the minis than this. Like, don't get me wrong, my brother still wants to play 40k. Like, my brother still wants to play 40k and stuff like that. And more power to him, he wants to play 40k. He said he won't play fantasy unless he's using my armies because he doesn't want to buy for fantasy unless he's paying me for it. And I'm like to him, cool, do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Yeah? I never cared. But like, that's the thing. I'm getting rid of that box because that box is fucking destroyed. There's a tape measure, there's that, and there's a mold line removal tool. And a nail file for filing stuff down, a die. I just double checking there wasn't anything of actual value in the box. Oh, there's another die in there too. And then we can throw this box over there, because it's trash now. Get that out of the way. But yeah, no, I know a lot of people probably want me to build. Yeah, as you can see, this is the rule book. It's in paper, so I don't care about you opening that. It looks too, for me, it just looks too good to open. But the thing is I hate Games Workshop's policies and how they pay people and how they basically take talented people and abuse them. But it's the same at Blizzard. They take people who are like really, really into the hobbies and shit, and basically they use and abuse them. And every fucking AAA developer, like video game developer and such, is the fucking same. I genuinely hate both of them. Like anyone who does that to people. But at the end of the day, we can't do anything about that. There we go. So there's the new rule. There's the new rule book in all its glory. So you got your core. So there's two books. There's two books. Okay. So we've got the core rule. We've got the core book, which is the rules. We got the Fire and Jade book, which is the Spearhead book. Okay. So basically, obviously, rule book. I need to read through that. They've changed. I know that they've changed a fair bit. I've watched some people online play it, and then this is just saying about the scenario and everything. This is like art and everything, and gives you the art for all of it. And let's be fair. Let's have a quick look. Art for 40k is absolutely amazing. Like, it explains Spearhead and how Spearhead is there, blah blah blah, how you should build your minis and that. It like explains everything, how you should build it. Spearhead Battle Pack, Fire and Jade. Says the composition and everything, blah blah blah. And then you've got, like, it says about your terrain. And then you've got objectives. I didn't get the version that has the objective coins. You can only get that from GW, which is bullshit. But they don't give you any. But they're supposed to give you a battle mat in this. There's supposed to be a mat. Yeah, they're supposed to give you a fucking battle mat with this. So I'm assuming my battle mat is in that box there. My battle mat is in the other box in that. But, like, my brother will play this with me. He has said he will play this with me using the miniatures in the box and stuff. It's just, I need to obviously assemble and paint it first, because it's like, most people do not want to look at fucking grey plastic. I don't want to look at grey fucking plastic and shit. And to be fair, this is my level of painting, if you can see that. If you can see that, that's my level of painting. Like, if you can actually see that. I don't know if that's actually showing up really well, but, like, that's kind of my level. If you're on the Discord, you've seen what I've painted. You've seen my level of painting. But that's it. And this is a Psychophage from 40k. I just happen to have him on my desk. This is one of the other ones that I've done recently. This is a Barb Gaunt. It's a Barb Gaunt that I've recently done. It's a bit meh because of the spray paint job that it got, and I think some of them are like that, where they're a bit meh because of the spray paint. So if I ever did them again, I'd fucking spray paint them properly. Yeah. Oh look, it gives you all the rules. It gives you all the rules and everything for your characters and that. They call it health now instead of wounds. I've noticed that. In the thing. Yeah, where things have controls, so they count as like, control 1 means each unit control counts as 1. Control 2 counts as 2 units for terms of objective control. That's what it is. Oh wow, they're strong. They 10 inch hits on a 3, wounds on a 3, armor pierces 1. They've 1 attack at 10 inches, and they do D3 when they throw their spears. Wow, the prosecutors, the flyboys are actually pretty good. Lord Vigilant is actually pretty tough too. 5 attacks. He has 8 health. He's a 3 up save. He moves 12 inches, which is awesome. Oh, he's an anti. The guy below him is anti-wizard, anti-priest. So he gets +1 to rend them with his sword. Okay, nice. Okay. These guys are actually pretty powerful, because most of this game, if I have to be honest, most of this game, yeah. I've got this. If you don't know, I actually have this one. I just don't have the Vanquishers. I don't have the Sword Boys for this one. I just don't have them. I have Spear guys, which I can replace with. I can replace them with spears. Yeah. The thing is Yndrasta herself in that army can only come out on turn 4 and 5, which is fucking stupid in my opinion. But she is really powerful. She's really, really fucking powerful. She has her spear does 4 fucking damage, so it's like fucking busted. And this just shows you, like, this is just showing you all this. This is a Spearhead book. This is the new Spearhead book. So it's just showing you, like, units with different. This is a different way of playing it. It's not like build an army based on points and here you go. This is This is, you get these models. This is your army. You get these models, basically, kind of thing. So this is showing like all the ones. This is showing all of them. So you've got lizardmen. You have lizardmen as well in this game as well. This is literally just these are literally the spearhead boxes that you buy. Like, they literally have, like, the top. You've got a Saurus Soul blood on a rider, on a Carnosaur. You have some you have Saurus warriors. I think you get like 2. I think you get 2 of those. Yeah. No, you get 2 units of 5, 3 Croxagore, and a Saurus Soul blood. Honestly, I think this is a good way of playing the game. It's kind of like Kill Team. No, War Cry is Kill Team. This is Combat Patrol. This is like Combat Patrol. And I think that's probably the best way of playing these games. You just have to buy 1 box of miniatures. You buy 1 box that contains all these models. You build them up. Paint them, and then you play a smaller version of the game. I think this is the best way of doing it. Basically, what my box that I bought was literally 2 spearheads in 1. That's what that is. That's 2 spearheads. I could also just be playing with everything that's in there too, because it wasn't showing every single thing in there as well. But it's like, this is just showing like all the spearhead boxes. So honestly, I think these are really good. I think it's really good that they show that you play the game this way, because smaller games are usually better, and you'll be able to play them more frequently and more often, as opposed to a huge ass game. To be fair, most of these armies are played at 2,000, 3,000 points. If you're playing a non-spearhead game, you're playing 3,000 points. That's the general standard. You play 3,000 points. 3,000 points is going to cost you a lot of money. Just putting it out there. 3,000 points is going to cost you a lot. There are no points values, obviously, because the new book isn't out yet, so we don't have points value. Unless GW's actually got to put... I'm going to have a look, actually, at that. I'm going to just double check... Ow, my back. Ow. Age of Sigmar. Yeah, because they've put it there. The only way you can get most of the Age of Sigmar stuff is like online at the moment, which kind of sucks. Ways to play. You have multiple ways to play. You have match games. Spearhead is your skirmish game. So Spearhead is Combat Patrol. So it's worth doing it. I mean, even a Combat Patrol in 40k, buy 2 of those and you can play a game quite quickly, quite easily, like that, done. The only problem is like in recent time they've kind of enshittified, like especially they've enshittified them pretty much. They cost £100 now from the Games Workshop for a box of fucking infantry. The ones that haven't been touched, buy them up. If you actually see them and you want to paint the miniatures and get decent miniatures and stuff, if you want my honest opinion, you buy up those bloody boxes. The old Combat Patrols. Why? They are 1,000,000 times better than the fucking current ones that they are re-releasing. You can't even play the fucking game with them. I'm dead serious. You can only play Combat Patrol with them. And if you play, like, let's say a really expensive army in 40k, for example, Gene Stealer Cults, because you're a Horde army, they don't give you a lot of minis in your boxes, but they expect you to buy like 10 ton of them because GW are assholes. The old box had 20 of your acolytes, your basic acolytes in there, and it had a lot of your more expensive minis in that box for what was it, 95 pounds. Yeah, but now it's you literally pay so much more for an enshittified box, which is just for people who've already collected. And I think a lot of these boxes that they're doing that are not Age of Sigmar, I think because Age of Sigmar is they've not enshittified Age of Sigmar because it's not their popular game. They're deliberately doing it with 40k because they turn around and say, well, you play 40k, you're going to buy the box anyway. Because fuck you, you're going to buy the box anyway. Because we don't care about new players, we just want old players, we just want whales, and we just want money. And we just want painters. The thing is they look at painters and they see painters as walking wallets. Because we literally buy the minis to collect them, to paint them, because we always have to have something to paint. If that makes sense. Yeah. And it's very annoying with a lot of problems. Yeah, Age of Sigmar has fucking sharks. They have fucking sea elves riding fucking sharks. Like they have humans, sea elves, enfrailed species, They have bloody people riding bloody eels, steep sea eels. They have spellcasters. A lot of the minis just look so good, especially for Age of Sigmar. They look so good. I literally will paint. I will paint any of the minis because I like the miniatures. I very much like the miniatures. Do I care about playing the game? Hell no. Fuck the game. Most of the games are shit. I don't play the games. I've sworn off kind of playing the games because I don't like a lot of the rules. If I have to be brutally honest, a lot of the rules are terrible. Especially for 10th edition 40k, and I know that's a hot controversial topic where a lot of people are like, oh, but you just don't like it because you don't know the rules. No, I know the rules. I just don't like the rules. I think they're crap compared to 9th edition. 8th edition was way better. 9th edition improved 8th edition infinitely more. 10th edition basically reinvented the wheel. And that's all Games Workshop seems to do. That they'll have two editions where one is like a test, the second one after that is an improvement on it. And then you have, let's just fucking redo it. Because they give you about 2-3 years. I think they give you about 2 years per edition, and then they switch to another edition. It's terrible. I absolutely friggin' hate like the current edition of 40k. But the thing is you don't have to play that. Most of the miniatures I'm using them for agnostic games like one-page minis, or I'm just painting them up, collecting them, and then if I play D&D or something with my younger brother, play D&D, Starfinder, you know, that kind of stuff. By the way, Starfinder is going to end up compatible with 2E of Pathfinder come next month. Next month they will release a book probably near the end of the month. It will be compatible. Like, you'll be able to basically play the same way. It'll be completely compatible. You'll have the free action economy instead of move, attack, bonus action, turnover, reaction, turnover. You know, I hate that. I hate the old D&D style of the action economy. It's shit. Let me attack 3 times. Let me move, attack, and then move back. Yeah. Let me do that, okay? Let me cast a super powerful spell that requires 3... That lets me... I cast a spell, and then I move back. Then I take my free action, which is a step, back, and then I move backwards as well. You know? Let me do that. That's what I liked about Pathfinder 2e. You can do that. It's a better system. Me and my friends had more fun playing that system. So yeah, Pathfinder 2e is a better system overall compared to Starfinder currently. Because what Starfinder was the inception for Pathfinder 2e, and I've always found 2e to be a lot better. Ooh, there we go. That's better. Oh, here you go. Here's the one. Here's the one for this book, for the stats for the guys in this book. Oh, so he's actually really good. Oh, there's no more bravery anymore. They don't have bravery. Yeah, they've got away. They've done away with bravery. They've done away basically with leadership and bravery. There is no more bravery now. Oh wow, that's a scary rule for the clan rats. At the end of any turn, so both players' turns, you can return D3 slain models to this unit. So if you roll a 5 or a 6, you get three miniatures back. And you can do, and there's two units of that. There are 2 units of that. So they basically get reinforcements. So they basically get to keep coming back, which is quite scary. A lot of these guys have terrible armor saves. The guy on the giant rat, like the giant spindly rat thing, he has the best saves because he gets a 6-up ward save. So he has a save against everything. He always has a save, even though he's terrible. Yeah. Oh, the Warlock Engineer is actually really good. That Warlock Engineer is really good. He has a reaction ability. If he hasn't moved, then he shoots his pistol. Or he shoots his he's got a rifle. Oh, he's got a rifle now. That's 24 inches. That's very long in Age of Sigmar for an infantry unit. For most units, 24 inches is pretty far. That's a pretty long range shot. Because everything is very much swords and shields, shields, and magic. So so basically, your most like technologically advanced weapon for most people is a bow. Yeah, it's a bow or a crossbow, or a fucking ballista. Now, I've got a ballista. I've got the ballista, and it's one of those push ship miniatures. But I've painted it absolutely amazingly and absolutely beautifully. I love how I've painted it. And I think the reason that it looks really good is because it's got the GW spray paint. I think the GW spray paint is easier to use than the Colourforge spray paint. But I've got Colourforge, and Colourforge also works really well when it's not being blown around and shit. The only problem is, for me, when I'm doing my painting, especially when I'm doing my spray painting, my problem with that is I have cats who come into the back garden, and I have to do it in the backyard. My cat's in the front yard. I don't want to scare my cat, and I don't want to scare the other 2 cats who come into my backyard. Well, the other 3 cats, if we see the very, very elusive, smoky, like brown, black, kind of like smoky cat. I've seen them once before, but they have come into my garden, and they're just like, whatever, my cat's there, whatever, I'm buggering off. So that's that. But yeah, no. But yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, this box is really, really good for what it is. It's good value because I'm saving a load of money. I'm definitely saving a load of money because I'm not going to end up paying 10 times what I would pay if I was having to if I was having to pay you know, they knew, like, if I'd bought the stuff later and then have to pay for it more, then I probably will buy another box of it. I probably will buy another box of it, like, just for more of the infantry, because, hey, look, it's infantry, it's cheap. I don't mean that box. I don't mean that box that I just bought. I mean when the smaller boxes come out in about a month or so. Yeah. There's but yeah, there's a lot of armies and stuff. There's a lot of miniatures and armies and that I want to buy, but damn, I'm still tired. I want to buy them, but I'm limited to what I can afford. That's the thing, and that box will probably keep me stocked up on shit. I want to paint. I want to paint and do easily for like another month or so. Actually, no, it'll be more than a month. Building it will take a few days. That's a guarantee. Building it will take me a few days, because as I said, I've been playing Once Human, and I've been playing other games with friends and shit. My brother's already built the quad, apparently, but he's not streaming it. I think what it is he's just building it, and that's that. But I think he's so what I bought my brother was he bought the old Elite edition of the 8th edition starter set, and it's much better. So it was the Elite edition, which is no, not the 8th. That was the 9th edition, and it's much better than what you currently get, because like for Marines and that, like you do get a lot of Marines, but you also get a box of assault intercessors in that. So you get 5 assault intercessors, which is a squad. So he's got some melee, because he's building up his Space Marines now. My brother wants to build up the Space Marines force that we have, because some of it is mine. I literally just built the models to paint. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I paint. I don't care if he wants to use them or whatnot. They've been painted. They've been shown on his channel and on YouTube. People apparently like my painting, so yeah. Apparently, I paint good. Apparently, I don't know. He can show that shit in a much better quality. This is about as good quality as I can get with this kind of shit. As I said, this is about as best quality as I'll get for this camera, because this camera is at least 1080p 720 in that. The problem is obviously, you know, everything being at a friggin' angle and it only being 30 FPS. But the camera is limited to 30 FPS, but hey. Again, this was more of an unboxing video with it, and just looking through it, and just me chatting, like not even a video, just like a stream, just like for me to unbox and talk about it and shit. And yeah, I might build it. I can't really build on stream. I get too distracted when I'm building shit on stream and whatnot. So even if I was doing like a video of it and building it and that, I'd probably get bloody distracted too. Because a lot of the times when I'm building my shit, I get distracted like hell. If that makes sense. And it's not a good thing for me to get distracted. Like, me and my brother will play a game of this. Don't get me wrong. We will play a game of this. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah. I find it, looking at this, the demons in Age of Sigmar, they kind of suck. Like, I don't mean like I don't mean stat wise and whatnot. What I mean is, like, they kind of suck because their stats are reversed. Because they have a 6-up ward save and a 5-up armor save. It's the other way round in 40k. They have almost all demons that are not wearing armor of any type like the bigger ones or certain other ones, they're all hiding behind a 6-up armor save, 5-up invulnerable. If they're a Zinch demon, they have a 4-up invulnerable save. So there's that. So it's kind of strange to me, if that makes sense, that they've got their stats reversed. But most of the stats correspond with each other with both games. They're trying to make the games a lot simpler. They've tried to simplify most of the games. Like Age of Sigmar doesn't even have strength anymore. It literally has a 2-hit roll, a 2-wound roll, and then it inflicts any armor piercing, then it does damage, and has a number of attacks, and has a range if it's ranged. If it doesn't, then it has the other one. The 40k is a little different, whereas 40k still has strength, because things have toughness. They've completely gotten rid of toughness in this, so it's literally you roll to hit, you roll to wound. This game is much simpler, and I think it's better for that. All you need to know is how far you can move, what your save is, how much you contest how much your stuff has for control if you contest a you know, what do you call it? Yeah, where you basically have. I lost my train of thought. You just have to remember a couple of stats, really. You just have to remember a couple of stats for each thing. For most models, yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to worry so much about like strength, toughness, leadership. 40k, I swear, leadership is one of those things that they're going to get rid of. From 40k, because I feel that it's completely redundant. I don't like leadership. I've never liked the leadership rule. Especially because now the way they've changed it, you roll 2d6. If you get the number or higher, you're okay. If you get lower than the number, you're in trouble. I don't like that. I've always done 2d6 and it's always been lower. It's always been the leadership number or lower. And then you're battle shocked and you can't get any benefits from like the fucking from certain things. And if you fail it, you lose a guy. You also lose people as well. You lose more guys. And if you're stuck in close combat, or you're in close combat and you want to get that unit away, you have to make a desperate escape. It's stupid. It's like, come on. That's bullshit. Just because I rolled badly, now I'm in trouble. Like, fuck off. Because I lose that entire unit. The thing is if I run away, or I want to get that unit out of combat because they're better at shooting, I can't. I have to sit them in combat until the next turn. Because it's literally, if I choose to run away, I'm taking a massive risk. I will lose that unit. It's better for me to stay in close combat and do as much damage as I can and lose the combat and stay in close combat with them until the next turn, where then I can move out of combat and then I can just blast them with whatever I've got, with like my pistols or whatever. Yeah, where then I can do some more damage and then I can charge back in, kind of thing. Yeah, if that makes sense. Because you can't disengage if you're, as I said, you can't disengage combat if it's desperate. If you failed the battle shock test, it's not worth it. You'll lose that unit. You are guaranteed to lose that unit because your opponent gets to roll against you. Because you have to take a leadership test, and your opponent gets to roll against you. And if your opponent rolls more than you, they kill. I think it's either they roll more than you or you fail your leadership. They kill your entire unit. Your entire unit become cowering babies and they get annihilated. It's fucking stupid. I've seen it happen to Chaos. I've seen it happen to my actual Chaos Space Marines. You'd think these battle-hardened motherfuckers who just live to fucking kill people, steal shit, and take slaves would run away. You'd think that they wouldn't be afraid should they have to tactically retreat. It's the same as Space Marines. You'd think that elite armies wouldn't be affected by that. Because they used to have rules where it was like, they were fearless, and they shall know no fear. Where literally every Space Marine model had, and you shall know no fear as a rule. They were fearless. They did not take leadership checks. Whereas Chaos ones, as long as they had veterans of the Long War, they did not take leadership checks. Or they had fearless. Or they had the rule called fearless, and then they were like, well, we don't give a shit. That's the problem. That's the problem that I see with a lot of it. That Gotha's Harvester looks really cool with its fucking skull head. That looks so cool. More Trek Guard, Mortison, Soul Reaper. Honestly, these Ossiarchs, these Ossiarch things, basically they're skeletons. They're called Ossiarch Bone Lords. The whole things are the whole thing is. Honestly, I just think they're cool. I just think miniature-wise they look really cool. They have decent armor. They have 4-ups. They all have wards. All of these ones in here have a 6-up ward save. So they're really tough to hurt. And they hit decently. And they do a fair bit of damage, and a lot of their weapons have rend. Yeah, because that harvest stuff, and this is from a box, is awesome. Bone Harvest. It can never have more than 6 bone type points. I don't know what bone types are. For each 4-up, you can return 1 slain model to the target unit. Friendly Mortec Guard. Oh! This is a repair construct. Uses Morbid Crop to restore the forms of fellow Ossiarchs. Oh, so this guy basically you keep him near the Ossiarch, the Mortec Guard if you're playing this Spearhead, and you basically just use his ability once he's got like 6s. Yeah, for each bone type point he has after he's slain that enemy model in combat, there's fucking bone construct monstrosity. You literally, it's the end of any turn. For every 4-up, you return a model. So if you have 6 and you get 6 4-ups, you return 6 minis. You return 6 of these guys back. That's really good, actually. And it's got 10. It itself has got 10 wounds, and it's not very good at attacking because it hits on 4s, but it has 10 attacks, where one of them hits on 2s and has a rend of 2, but both do 2 damage. The other one's 4. It hits on a 2, it hits on a 4, wounds on a 3, does 1 rend, but also does the same amount of damage. It's like. And it's got a ranged attack for 12 inches. It basically fires a flamethrower. It fires like a Doom flamethrower or some shit. That has 4 attacks, hits on 4s, wounds on 4s, has 1 rend and does 1 damage. That's actually a really good mini. It looks really cool. The Gothic Harvester, it's something I would like to buy actually. It looks really cool. It's like something I want to paint up. The thing is, I don't mind buying the Spearhead boxes for this game, building them and painting them in my spare time. I don't mind, because that's actually overall a lot cheaper than just building up all the armies. And it's like, well, I've got all these armies and we could play Spearhead and that. It's the same with 40k's combat patrols. But I wish they would stop and shitifying them, because you don't get cool shit anymore. There's a reason why I say that Games Workshop's and shitfied its combat patrols for 40k. All the combat patrols with 40k, all you're getting now are... The problem with what you're getting, Pinga, is you're just getting infantry. You're paying £100 for infantry. For a HQ choice, an elite's choice, and 2 troops choices for the most part. Like, Like, the box my brother bought is 2 5-man squads of intercessors. It's two 5-man squads of intercessors. Yeah. Or 1 10-man squad of intercessors. You'd build it as 2 5-man squads of Primaris intercessors. You've got Captain in Gravis armor, which is kind of bad because you've got nowhere to slot him into. You can't slot him into any unit because you need heavy intercessors for that. So you can't slot him into any unit. So instantly, the Dark Angels one, which has 18 miniatures, you're instantly at a disadvantage. I think it's 17 or 18 minis. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that. Start here with Warhammer 40k. We don't care about that. Blah blah blah. Votan, Leagues of Votan. Yeah, well, Leagues of Votan is one of the better. Is still one of the better combat patrols because they haven't really changed it much. As I said, the old 10th edition, the old 9th edition ones are way better. I mean, the Death Guard one for the patrol is kind of shit because you get 30 fucking zombies. You get 30 plague zombies, and then you only get you get 7. I don't know what their obsession with 7 with plague marines is. I know it's Nurgle's lucky number. But that's so stupid in my opinion. Just give me 5 or give me 10. Don't give me 7. Oh no, here I've got it. Yeah. So that captain, I think, has to that Gravis captain can't either. I think he has to go in with the Blade Guard. You got 5 Hellblasters, which are pretty good. I will say they're a pretty good unit. But the problem is, it's all infantry. GW wants to sell you tanks, but they don't want to put it in their starter sets. They want you to pay £100 for infantry, for a HQ choice and infantry. Like, you get 2 elite choices. You've got 2 elite infantry choices there. It's Dark Angels. Of course, you're going to have plasma. So you've got the plasma boys. You've got the plasma guys with very powerful plasma guns. A whole squad of plasma guys. You've got the Gravis commander, who basically has a power fist, a machine gun that isn't very strong and is basically the same length. As I say, it has the same amount of range as a bolt pistol. Yeah, he's only shooting within 12, and then he's got a power sword. You either give him a power sword, a chain sword, or another power fist. And it's just like, okay, well, if you want one that's basically the entire meme of power fisting time, then there you go. Because he's a better armoured captain. That's all it is. He's a better armoured captain who goes and leads heavy intercessor squads and shit like that. Your Blade Guard are decent because your Blade Guard, the leader can have an Eovolkite, which is a stable plasma pistol, which inflicts 2 damage, and if it crits, it mortals for 2. Yeah, it inflicts 2 mortal wounds, so it's a decent pistol. So they get a decent gun, but they've all got shields, which give them a save. They re-roll any of them. Re-roll ones. They re-roll ones on their saves. Yeah? On their invulnerable saves. They have an invulnerable save of a 4-up. You need the person to roll a 2 or a 3 to fucking wound them on an invulnerable. So if you're using armor piercing, they've just put their shields up. They just use a shield. They also re-roll any 1s in melee. They all have relic blades as well. They are very, very powerful, but you only get 3 of them. The full squad is 6 of them. So, you know, they're basically your sword bearers. They are your elite infantry. With your elite melee infantry who do have guns that are actually decent-ish. Yeah? The guns are decent-ish. So they're not bad, but they're not great either. They do have armor piercing though. They have 18-inch range on their basic pistols, and they have 1 armor piercing. So there's that. So they actually are decent pistols. They're better than a bolt gun, and that pisses me off. Because I have bolt guns, but I don't get armor piercing with my basic infantry weapons, where most of these guys either have bolt rifles or they have fucking, you know, a lot of shit. Like, because basically, these Marines with their bolt rifles, they have -1. They have armor piercing. They have 2 shots and -1 to armor piercing. It's what annoys me with regular Marines. That's something that annoys me with regular Marines. It's one of the reasons that I don't like 40k. Is because I have similar weapons to them, but they have updated ones, so they're better. And then and then every fucking GW store that you go to, the manager tries to you know, bum rush you into buying fucking Space Marines. It's like, we'll buy Space Marines, but we're not paying full price for them, thanks. We're only buying this shit because we can't get it anywhere else. Because you refuse to give it to your stockists to make it cheaper. And I did have a conversation with one of the guys in the store about the price of stuff, why I wasn't too happy with the GW price. He's like, yeah, but if you look at it, the price of a lot of other things has doubled in price, and miniatures are only gone up by like 20% since like the 70s. And the reason that food and all that's gone up is because of all the problems that we've been having in this country, because the government's been buying up the sold land. Farmers been selling off their land because it's got flooded, and the government's only giving them £250 for it to get new land because the land is worthless. It's fucking stupid. We need more farming land. We need to stop. Basically, the country needs to designate more land as farming, or they need to make it so more people do more, like grow more veggies at home and stuff like that, like they used to back in World War II, World War One and World War Two, with rationing. Because the thing is, that explains everything. Why we've not had potatoes, why we've not had milk, why we've not had, you know, a lot of necessities like vegetables, milk, meat, that kind of shit, because there's no land for it, because we're struggling, we have no agriculture. That's why we haven't got anything, and people are complaining left, right and centre, and this is why the prices are so damn high, because there's too much demand. There's no supply, there's too much demand, so with the demand for the supply goes way up. That's why they've jacked the prices up, and that makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. Because I thought it was just COVID. I thought it was just COVID and increased transport costs. No, apparently there's none. There's like no production, because land's been flooded, land's being sold off, because it can't be used because it's been flooded, and there's a lot of other issues with it too. So it's like, no, it makes a lot of sense to me, you know. It makes a lot of sense. If you look at it, like, and yeah, so if you actually look at the whole situation, that's why I've been annoyed with the food costs as well. So that makes sense. So actually, if you actually look at the in retrospect, miniatures, yeah, they're a luxury, but they've only gone up by about 20%. It's the Pingu. Before you complain at me for buying miniatures, please don't. Don't complain at me for doing it. I'll be honest with you, I very rarely go to the store. I go maybe once every 2 to 3 months. And buy some miniatures. I very, very rarely buy miniatures. Like in a year, I can count the amount of times I go to this store and buy minis. I literally could count on one hand. Pingu. How many times have I gone this year? 3. This is the 3rd time. Alright? This is the 3rd time. There'll probably be a 4th time when I go for my birthday, and there'll be a 5th time when I go for Christmas. Okay? Because it's easy gift for me and my brother. And for one of my friends, it's easy gifts, alright? Because they're cheaper, We buy it for we buy stuff for each other. We buy minis for each other. I work my ass off over the Christmas period, over the holiday period. Basically, as soon as September starts up, I'm working overtime. Every month is, if I can, overtime, 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 up until Christmas. And then it's like, Christmas is every single shift until I have Christmas off. And then Christmas is, and then the time I have off Christmas, it's spending time with it's spending time with family, doing my miniatures. It's one of the few times I get to do it. Do you know the times that I actually get to sit down and do hobby shit? It's not my days off, because all I want to do is play video games and chill out with friends. When I've got a large amount of time, I will dedicate several days to just doing the miniatures. That's what it is, right? Now, I know this stream's mostly been me talking about it and showing an unboxing and looking through a box and talking about bits and pieces. But, hey. At the end of the day, I'm not a player of this game. I don't fit in as a player. I'm not a tournament player. I'm not a meta chaser. I don't play the game in that way. If I choose to play the game, it is incredibly casual, which is why I agree with Spearhead, which is why, looking at this, I like this. This is something I will play. I will buy the Spearhead stuff for armies that I want to play, and I will play them. If I choose to buy more miniatures to build up the army because I want to build up the army and I want to play a full-blown game at my wargaming club, cool. But the thing is like, I will have to find someone else to play, or I will have to play my younger brother using an army that I have. Yeah? If that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, I like my minis. I very much like my minis. And I very much like painting miniatures. The games on the other hand are kind of meh for me, if that makes sense. I've never cared about playing the games. I care about painting the miniatures and just having the miniatures. I've always been more of a miniature collector as like I've been growing up. I've turned more into like miniature collector over like video game player. I still play my video games, but I much prefer, you know, playing my video games. If I play games, it's video games. Ugh, sorry, tired. But no, I know a lot of people watch people doing miniatures and painting and shit, but the problem is then I can't, with my painting and the building, I can't be talking to people. I can't, like, I can be talking to, like, friends and that, but I can't just be talking to, like, stream while I'm doing it. Because stream will be like, oh, what's going on? What you building? Why can't I see it? Well, because I haven't got the fucking setup for it. I got a setup to show my table and to play Digimon cards. Or Pokemon. That I've got, right? And to be fair, I haven't bought any Digimon cards for ages. Honestly, I kind of just stopped buying collectible trading cards most of the time because they're cheaper than these minis, but I get more out of these minis because I just build these minis and then I paint a lot of stuff as well. If that makes sense. I like building and painting my miniatures, okay? I've always enjoyed that bit. Maybe not necessarily the building, especially with monopose models now. I'm not the biggest fan of them. But like the push fits and that, I'm happy to do push fit. I'm happy to do push fits. I'm happy to buy stuff. Like my brother's happy to buy stuff, put it together, and then I'll paint it. Okay. I don't care if he paints some of his stuff. The Marines I'll probably end up painting. His characters I'll probably end up painting. So there's that. Yeah. So that's how I've always been. That's how I've been recently, and that's what I've been the last few years. I just don't like the I just don't like the what do you call it? I just don't like playing the game necessarily. 40k, but fantasy, the Spearhead. I got no problem playing this. Spearhead is fine. That I can play. I haven't got a problem. The thing is like a lot of the games. The problem with a lot of the games has been that they play for too long and such. They play for too long, and I don't like playing the game for like hours on end. Like I don't mind playing a game like once a day, like once a week for like a couple hours. That I don't mind. Like about 2 hours, 2 hours, 2.5. That's about as much as I've got for it. Like when it comes to like the whole energy for it. But it's just me just barely showing things off. I've streamed for an hour. I've done my stream for today, like streaming for an hour. Um, like I know I need to stream Baxter, but I've streamed for an hour, and as I said, I've only got about enough energy for about 2 hours, about an hour, 2 hours. So that's that. So I've streamed for an hour showing this off. I've got to get to building it. I'm gonna go look at what my brother's doing, and I'm gonna grab a drink. So I'm gonna basically go and do my own thing, and then I'll probably play some Once Human as well after building some minis and such. So I'll see you all when I stream a video game next time. All right, see ya.